Hi, I'm Frisendra, and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. I think that's what it's called. There are some horses out here, out there behind the house. I just met the strangest lady. Oh yeah. Remember the horse you and Lisette and Ira had? I miss them sometimes. The horses. Let's get back into the truck and continue. Conway doesn't want to stay any longer. It's time to go. Conway doesn't want to stay any longer. What? Okay. I think. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stop saying okay. Up north a ways by the lake, right there, Peona and Waxwood meet. It's a big bait and tackle shop. She fixes the TV. Okay, so up the road north, where two roads meet. Ooh, there's a factory. I don't think it's further north. I think this is the end of the map. Right. Okay. Oops. Up northways by the lake, right where Peona and Wax Road meet. Okay, so this is the lake, I guess. Well, that's something else. Right, maybe that. Or is further south? That's another road. Okay, I guess it's further south. What was the name of the road again? Up north of it, by the lake, right where Peona and Wax Road meet. Maybe this way? I think this is a lake museum. A sign in front of the building just says, just reads museum. The lights are off, but the front door is open. Let's enter the museum. A few feet inside the museum doors, the ambient sound of a highway drops sharply away. The room is cold, dark, and still. A book lies open on a table in the center of the room. An open hallway extends to the left. Large glass doors barred the path ahead. Look at the book. There's no title on the book's spines or cover. A three-word phrase written in pencil on the first page is smudged and indecipherable. On the first page, someone has left ink. An ink drawing of a horse. Several dozen blank pages later, at the end of the book, is an elaborate ink drawing of a one-legged man working in an antique adding machine, surrounded by whiskey bottles. Let's walk the hallway. Conway walks down the hallway to the left. Conway's steps echo against the hallway's marble floor and arched ceilings. Plexiglass boxes line the walls. The hallway dead ends on a darkened display case. Look at the boxes on the walls. Conway examines the boxes on the walls. The first box, just a few feet into the hall, contains an assortment of bird wings. Some are missing feathers. One large, brightly colored wing almost glows in the moonlight. Its feathers are intact, but a piece of bone pokes awkwardly out from the tip. Look at the boxes on the walls. Conway examines the boxes on the walls. The first box, just a few feet. Oh yeah, that's the thing we just clicked on. Look at the darkened display case. The display case is several yards wide, but just a few feet off the ground. It's unlit, and back in its corner of the darkened museum, very little moonlight creeps in. A gold-plated plaque on the surface of the case is a bit easier to read. It recounts a short story of fowl hunting in the region, and speculates abruptly about the nature of addiction. Return to the entrance. Book lays open. Yes. Walk through the glass doors. The glass doors won't budge. To apply any more force would likely break them. Force through. The glass shatters. Somewhere ahead, a light switches on. After a moment, it switches off. The room is dark again, and the floor is covered in broken glass. Walk through to broken glass grinds into Conway's boots as he walks down the hall. He has the feeling of being in a larger space. Very little light reaches the far end of the hallway. Feel the walls. Conway runs his hands along the walls. The walls are completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. Feel the floor. Conway kneels and runs his hands along the floor. The floor is completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and... Okay, so it's the same thing as... So, if we... Okay, so there's nothing. The book... let's exit the museum. Drive away. But, okay, what was the name of the roads that meet? Peona and Wax. Airplane. Ooh. Two shirtless, shoeless men pushing a light aircraft along the highway. Occasionally, one or the other slips a bit on the sweating asphalt, or stops to pull back his hair. The rubber is almost worn away. Soon, these men will be dragging this airplane. The men are nearly broken. Okay. It's time to go. Conway gets distracted by nothing. Conway heads back into the night. Okay, but I have no idea where this road we're looking for is. Annetta Road? Peona Road? What's this road? No? Okay, so we found one of the roads. Peona and Wax. That's the bait shop. Nice. Conway pulls into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign says live bait, minnow small and also large 4 stripes. Night crawlers, chips and beer. A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at an eye level. To the shop's right, a dirt parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass and then eventually to trees. The bait shop is open. Read the flyer. Conway reads the flyer. Computer printed type in a bold font surrounds a clip art illustrated of a TV set. The TV has eyes, arms and legs. Its shoulders are slouched. On the TV, on the screen is a cartoon expression of an exhausted nausea. A hot water bottle rests against its wire antenna. TV repair. No model too old. Inquire within. We do not sell digital converter boxes. Conway enters the bait shop. Narrow aisles crowded with lures, reels, rods and snacks divide the shop lengthwise from the entrance to the cashier's counter. The left wall is lined with churning tanks of water. Conway approaches the tanks. The 3 metal tanks are labeled, and the water is too agitated to get a clear view of what's inside each one. The contents of the first tanks are vaguely grey. The second one is a muddy pink. The third one is clear, but shiny silver flecks occasionally flash along its surface. Conway reaches into the first tank. Conway's hand brushes against something roughly the size of its palm. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. Conway's hands come into contact with scaly, uneven surface. As he runs his finger along the bottom, a bead of sweat bridges the inches from his temple to the water surface. Something bites at his forearm. He recoils. Conway reaches into the second tank. Conway's fingers slip through something fleshy but inert. The sensation is nauseating. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. As his elbow passes into the pinkish mass, he realizes he's about to be sick from the smell and pulls away. Conway reaches into the third tank. The water seems to tremble with life. Conway can't tell if it's his hand is being nibbled by fish or massaged by an artificial current. As his eyes near the surface of the water, he can see something colourful glowing faintly at the bottom of the tank. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. A tremor spreads from his elbow out to his fingertips and up to the base of his shoulder. His vision flickers. The water is running warm under his skin now, and he has the sensation of something is about to snap. His eyes close. He lays on a rooftop. New shingles roof beneath his back, swelling in the noon sun. He's exhausted. They must have started before dawn. His legs are sore from holding stable on the uneven surface. His wrist from breaking old sealant. His fingers from carefully lifting shingles to hammer down new ones. His boss, Ira, yells from the idling truck below. He shades his eyes with his hand. A beer would be good. It's barely past noon, but he's worked a full day already. What could the harm be? Maybe a shot at the counter, just to get his eyes open, then a beer. He could offer to drive into town for lunch and then stop at that place on Cumberland. The cashier pushes Conway roughly on the shoulder. He's been talking, yelling maybe, but it's all in echo now. Conway looks up, his neck stiff with pain, his right palm still tingling. The cashier points to the tank, then above it, to a few holes torn into the wall, nail holes from which an electric sign has come dislodged and fallen into the water. He helps Conway to his feet, looks at him pitifully, and returns to the cash register. Narrow aisles, crowded. Yes. Approach the counter. Conway approaches the counter. A very cashier stands behind the register, preoccupied with a Sudoku puzzle. Ask about the basketball. Conway asks about the basketball game. The cashier switches on the radio. The AM Sports broadcast is playing, but Conway can't be sure if it's meant to answer or to drown out his question. Conway asks about Shannon Marquez's shop. A handwritten sign on the door behind the counter said, "TV repairs by appointment, please. Consult with cashier." The cashier knocks a few times on the door and waits, occasionally glancing at his puzzle. After a few moments with no answer, he notices a smaller note written on the sign, reads it, and then points it out to Conway. Conway reads the note on the workshop door. "Weaver, I got your message. Have left for the old mine. Don't know if I will see you there or what. Ready either way. Shannon." Oh yeah, that's the same note. Walk away. So we must find the way to the mine then. Let's drive away. Do we know where the mine is? No, but I think we drove past it. Ooh, guitar player. A young man in grey stained clothes sits by the side of the road. He's playing a worn guitar. To his left is a blue mug, and to his right a weathered dog. Pet the dog. Conway pets the dog. The dog closes its eyes and pretends to be asleep. The young man strums absently on the guitar, hums tunelessly, and occasionally mumbles a word. Conway pulls a wrinkled dollar bill from his back pocket and puts it in the young man's cup. The young man stops playing, pulls the wet dollar bill out of his whiskey, and hands it back to Conway. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh yeah, that was a factory, not mine. Okie dokie. So where is this mine then? I have no idea where this mine is. Okay, let's just aimlessly drive around then for a little tiny bit. That's the bait shop. Yeah, let's go around this place. Do a loop. Maybe we should get back to the other church. Cool. A singing choir chorus echoes from within the church. The building is 1 story tall with pitched roof and a 3-story spire rising from the front. The top section of the spire is made of stained glass, and an interior light illuminates the pines in the red, green and blue. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Light of the last great awakening Baptist church. Conway stands and listens to the choirs. The muffled chorus drones at a steady volume, repeating the same 2 verses without rest. Conway approaches the church doors. The front doors of the church are modest and worn. They are locked. Conway walks to the rear of the building. A ramp leads up from a few dusty metal trash cans to the church's back door. Conway opens a few of the trash cans and looks in. One has a bit of something leafy and rotten stuck to the bottom of it. Another is full of unlabeled videotapes. Enter the back door. Conway pushes open the back door. He finds himself in the kitchen, lit by a buzzing fluorescent ceiling fixture. On the counter are a plate of moldy bread and an empty Dixie cup, flecked red around its waxy rim. A set of swinging plastic doors on the far wall lead out of the kitchen. Walk through the back. Conway pushes open the plastic doors and walks through. Vacant pews sprawl unevenly into the church. A small raised stage lies on Conway's right, bare except for the tape recorder. The tape recorder's power cord runs to an outlet near Conway's feet. The singing stops. The lights fail. Okay. I have no idea. Okay, maybe we should... Okay, do we have any notes about the mine? Oh. No. Okay, maybe I can talk to her again. Act 1, Scene 3. We progressed, apparently. MÁRQUEZ farmhouse. Blah, blah. Yes, let's get back up to MÁRQUEZ's house. And Homer will stand behind and guard our truck. So into the house. This use a wood burning stove, but poop. This didn't help very much. think we were at scene 2 when we started. And now, now we're at scene 3. But I didn't see anything we could do at the house. So I don't know how that helped us. Okay, let's get in the truck. And yes, and get back into the bait shop. And maybe we can ask the cashier where the fudge nugget we're supposed to go to get to the mine. Was something around here, I think. That's a factory, that's not the mine. I think it was around there, maybe. Nope, it was here. Yes. Yes, yes. Enter the bait shop. Approach the counter. Read a note. Left for the old mine, but where's the old mine? I left for the old mine. Don't know if I will see you there. Poop. Yeah, because yeah, I can't do anything. I will leave the shop and drive away. Where is this mine? I don't think I can drive this way. Yeah, okay, that's too far away. I can't seem to remember. Do you know where this mine is? Scene 4. EQUUS oils. Ooh. Joseph and a stranger. A man with a large pair of antlers slung over his shoulder is speaking with Joseph. And that's only a few miles outside of Hodgenville anyway. I don't think it could do much better for accessibility, and they got that new gas station if folks get lost. But maybe they should feel lost. Joseph, just as lost as we are always already lost, just like poor itinerant Silas wandering the road looking for a home. Well, that's a way to look at it, I guess. Well, hello. I heard that old truck rumble on up. How's Homer? Say, maybe you can help this fellow. He's looking for a venue, is how he says, right? Sure, I have an old friend who runs a bar, and they've got a real big stage. No, it can't be indoors. Impossible. But I'm obliged to stop. I'm obliged you to stop a moment to help me work this through. Let me explain my charge. I've dedicated my last 12 years to design an orchestration of my life's greatest work, a grand, broadly experimental theatrical adaptation of The Death of the Hired Man by Robert Frost. How do you mean experimental? Well, drama is usually my second love. My higher calling is pseudoscience. Yep, pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is eternally fruitful marriage of whimsy and process that has yielded such poetic specimens as astrology, phrenology, canals on Mars, homeopathic medicine. I hope I have the time to explain how my pseudoscientific theory poetics find expression in this play, but now I'm in delirious rush. The event is to be performed tomorrow morning, just before dawn, but in the spirit of tragedy our venue fell through at the last moment. I've been out all day driving on the highways looking for a replacement, eyes fastened on the landscape. like a hawk scouring the field. It's like a hawk, in fact, that I failed to keep an eye on my gas meter. I'm here waiting for the tow truck to bring my car so I can get back on the task. So what kind of a venue are you looking for? Somewhere outdoors, somewhere intimate, somewhere tragic. If you have the attention to spare on a drive, I'll be grateful. Well, here you are. Run across a strange museum up north. Oh, that old place. I heard they keep a huge archive. Hey, next time you're up there, take a look in the archive room and see if you can find any of my old work on file. It'll be under Withtree. That's my last name, Withtree. The archive is just through the hole of glass. It's these big plastic doors. It's kinda hard to spot, but the texture is a bit different than the rest of the walls. Do you know where I can find an old mine? Around here? I guess not. Oh, unless you're thinking about old Elkhorn mine. That's over northeast up here, on Hardyville. But you can't get in there anymore. It's all fenced up. They had an accident. Ooh, interesting. Met your friend Weaver. Huh, now, you say you met her. She was there? Just for a minute, and then she left suddenly. Okay, I guess she had somewhere to be. I wouldn't take it personally. It's good that you met her. I knew the MÁRQUEZ family years ago, when Weaver was a young girl and her parents were studying local folk songs. Smart family. Well, some of them are smart, and the rest of them are wise. And the rest are wise, if you know what I mean. They hit some trouble a while back, and it kinda tore them all up. But, you know, everyone hits trouble at some point or another. Well, not everyone, but most of us do. Hey, if you see Weaver MÁRQUEZ again, tell her I'm sorry about your aunt and uncle, and I hope I'll be seeing her soon. Many thanks. Jeez, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, what? Here I am. Yep, I'm hard at work, as you can see. Now don't distract me. Ha! Like your work? It's better than being in a ditch. Ha! I bet you always say that, like a reflex. When people ask about my work, I always say, it's pretty okay. That way I don't have to think about it. But yeah, now we apparently have some things to investigate. Conway moves on. Man, I really enjoyed this game. Okay, let's see if we can find this museum first. Even though I've forgotten where it is. I think it was this way. Somewhere. I think it was somewhere south of the lake though. Where was it? That's the bait shop. Is there anything down here? No. I don't remember where we saw the museum. Okay, let's just do this loop. Okay, there's nothing around. Sunfish Piggy. That's an interesting name. Okay, just let's get on this road underneath. Just to check. Maybe the museum was that's a burning tree up north. That's the factory. Crap, I've forgotten where the museum was. That's a bit annoying. Okay, let's do this loop. Just to see if we can find the museum. Oops. Get past 0 on ramp. So that's workshop. What? But crap. Didn't we? Okay. We will find the mine. We will find the mine. Okay, crap. I've forgotten. I think he explained. I'm a bit unsure if he actually explained how to get. Okay. I'm a bit unsure now if he actually explained the way to the mine, or if he just said that there was an accident and it was locked up. Okay, let's just get to the factory then, since we've driven past the factory a few times now. The creek runs alongside the highway, then turns toward a dirty brick building. A grinding drone from within the building is faintly audible from the interstate. Floodlights on the lawn illuminate smokestacks. At the edge of the building's parking lot, a large sign partly obscured by trees reads Emmer Artificial Limb Factory. Okay, what was the... There was some... Okay, get back to 65, heading north, and take the first right after the limb factory. On-ramp? Question mark? This might be the entrance to the mine. Scene 5. Does it actually... Elkhorn Valley, does it actually progress when I... does like the scene go higher when I actually progress, or does it just increase whenever I go somewhere? So if I just like went somewhere, left, and went the same place, would it be scene 5 and then 6, or I don't know. Conway brushes on dirt of Homer's hat. How's it going, Homer? Huh. Not sure that lady was right about the on-ramp to the zero. Oh, jeez. On the on-ramp to the zero being here. Hey, you got something on your hat. Been digging in Lysette flower again. She just can't keep you out of there, can she? The way Ira used to yell at you, you'd think he was losing his mind. Okay, let's check out this on-ramp, question mark. Act 1, Scene 6. Elkhorn Mine. So you enter the mine at least. Ooh. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. It's $200 for 2 weeks. Yeah, it kind of is an emergency. No, it's fine, I'll figure it out. Inaudible. Shannon, that's true. I guess he can't kick me out for another week or 2. But can I trust him not to just change the locks? Yes, and I appreciate that, but... Okay, you're right. Just... Never mind, I have to go. Sorry. Okay, I'll thank you tomorrow. Love you. Okie dokie. Stranger. Ooh. Excuse me, ma'am. I saw the light was on the road and I'm looking for the on-ramp to... Do you believe in ghosts? Well, let's see. I do believe in a place can be I do believe a place can be haunted, if that's what you mean. What about the person? Can a person be haunted? Sure. I guess a person could. Sometimes I feel haunted myself. What haunts you? Bad decisions, I guess? Wasted youth? Ha! Well, look. Here's what it is. I drive deliveries for a shop called Lisette's Antiques, and I'm out trying to finish the job. And you're making a delivery to mine? Oh, no. I have a delivery for 5 Dogwood Drive, and I can't remember ever seeing that address before. Now I heard I need to take a highway called the Zero. So I met this young lady named Weaver MÁRQUEZ, and she sent me this way, and so here I am. Uncommon kind of a place for an on-ramp. But that's what it's been like so far with... What? Weaver MÁRQUEZ, do you know her? So you saw her tonight. I know Weaver. She's my cousin, Shannon Marquez. Oh, you're the one who fixes televisions. That's right. Did she tell you about that too? Of course she did. Weaver doesn't lie. One time when we were younger, she told me my dad had been in a terrible car wreck. There was crushed metal everywhere, and we'd be hearing it echo through the house for years, she said. I was very upset, crying, and then my dad walked in the door. Just come back from a trip to the junkyard collecting scrap metal to fashion into wind chimes. I was angry, but she said it wasn't a joke, and it wasn't a lie. At that time, though, she meant it as a riddle or a puzzle. But Weaver's not a puzzle. She's a mystery. So what are you doing down here, Shannon? I talked to Weaver earlier this evening, too. Or anyway, she talked to me. It's hard to tell if she's listening sometimes. Weaver told me I had to come down here to the old ELKHORN mine. She said I'd find something I've been looking for. What are you looking for? I'm not exactly sure. I have a few ideas. I'll know when I see it. It's not such a bad thing, you showing up. All told, I'd rather not go down there alone. Your dog should stay up here, though. It's no place for a dog. This is an old mine. It runs pretty deep and tangled, and if you were going to go down into it, find your on-ramp or whatever else, we got to keep our bearings. And I don't want to get turned around. I got some gear here to measure conductivity, frequency response, stuff like that. Maybe we can find a way to put a signal out ahead, do some analysis and figure out what kind of topology we're against. Topology? Okay. Topology, that's the science of continuous space, my friend. The way this twisty maze of patterns fits together. Fists? Oh, jeez. Okay, cool. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on. And this game is awesome and is weird, and I don't understand anything. But anywho, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and good night.